family. Good morning. It is your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Cafe de Paris. While I'm always serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. I definitely want to appreciate all of my subscribers. Thank y'all for y'all loyalty. Thank you for your support, and I definitely just appreciate the fact that y'all are still supportive of my movement. So again, I want to thank all the guys, and I want to thank all of my ladies as well. With no further ado, I thought it was very imperative that I got into this topic due to the fact that it is becoming a continuous issue in the Black YouTube sector. There are so many Black men and Black women as well who all of a suddenly have expertise in marriage, that have appointed themselves to be experts in dating, experts in marriage, and experts as far as what a Black man should consider as a good Black woman, and what a Black woman should consider as a good Black man. Everybody in the Black YouTube sector all of a suddenly has answers for what is considered good and what is considered not good when it comes to selecting a soulmate or a companion. All of these experts, most of which have no receipts in which they can prove that they are giving information that is actually helpful other than what they tell you. Other than that, they really have no proof and proving that their points are valid, that the knowledge and the information they are sharing has really benefited people as far as finding a good companion, finding a good husband, a good wife. It's not too many success stories in which they can share to validate their points. Now, every once in a while, you have some of these, ass-kissing subscribers who will go underneath their comment sections and says, well, it was because of listening to you, I was able to find me a good man. It was because of you, I was able to find out as a Black man that I shouldn't settle for any type of Black woman. You have a lot of these people who will act like they benefited from certain content creators because they want to earn some type of notoriety by, co-signing with their narratives. Or you just have some people that are so attention seeking. So any moment they can seize the opportunity to, have their little ass kiss a moment. They're going to utilize it to their advantage because people are willing to do anything to get close to certain content creators, especially if that content creator is successful. So you will have some people that will co-sign with the shenanigans just so they could earn some type of clout or recognition from a content creator, especially those that are really doing well with their numbers in the Black YouTube sector. But what I wanted to discuss was how the Black YouTube sector has tainted the potential for the Black marriages. The Black YouTube sector has become so toxic. It has become so toxic. And the Black YouTube sector is just flooded with so much negativity, and the gender war has become an overkill. You can't go into too many spaces and listen to Black men have much of anything positive to say about courting Black women. And there's not too many spaces in which you can listen to Black women have anything potentially positive or good to say about Black men. When the truth of the matter is, there are some marriages out here that are Black marriages at that are very successful. I won't say perfect, but I will say healthy. Every Black man that's married to a Black woman, he's not miserable. He's not simping. He's not it doesn't prove that he has less masculinity compared to a black man who embraces being a bachelor. And there's no 100% guarantee that just because a single black man is single, that he's so happy because he has so many options he can choose from and he's not tied down to one woman. You can be a single successful man and still be miserable because and the same thing, no different with black women. You have black women that are celebrating being independent, celebrating being successful, but behind closed doors they are depressed because the truth is they really want a companion, they really want a husband, they really want a good soulmate, but society is in the black YouTube sector is not making it better. It's making black men and black women feel like they are better off by themselves. They don't need anybody, and the black YouTube sector is just enhancing the negative narratives that are surrounding the potential of black marriages and black relationships. We are being programmed into believing we don't need each other. And this is for black men and black women. We are being programmed into believing we don't need each other. We both are better off without each other. We can be successful without each other. That we will only bring one another down if we were to build something together. There is so much negative narratives that are being promoted through the black YouTube sector. And to me personally, a lot of these content creators, and this is just my personal opinion, the black YouTube sector has become a playground for miserable individuals. And the problem with a lot of us, if you're not spiritually woke, you can easily be manipulated by the image that a lot of these individuals portray other than their realities of who they really are when they log off of these live streams, when they're not uploading these contents. The black YouTube sector has become a playground for miserable people. And you have a lot of these individuals that are pushing narratives so that they can get other individuals that are miserable just like them to adopt their negative principles, their negative morals, and their bitter standards. You have a lot of bitter black people in the black YouTube sector. These are the ones that are pushing these unhealthy narratives. They're the ones that are telling you, you don't need to be with black women. You better off without black women. You need to date outside of black women. All black women are damaged goods. Then there's the sisters. You better off dating non-colored men. You better off dealing with men outside of the black race. All black men are losers. All black men are low common denominators. We are the only race that has to consistently and constantly trash one another. Now, this is not to say that other races don't do it. I've been in other little spaces in which in the YouTube sector in which I've seen white men comment on white women and white women comment on white men, but they never take it to the extreme of glorifying their hatred for one another. When it comes to black men and women, we glorify our hate. We glorify it. We're proud of it. We wear it with a badge of honor. I've never seen so many black men that celebrate the demise of black women getting murdered, black women getting killed. They throw a confetti. They throw a female black female fuckery bash party. And I've never seen so many black women rejoice at black men that have a moment of failure. Rather if their failure was through losing their, getting caught up in some type of celebrity scandal, or a huge divorce, um a divorce settlement, especially if that divorce settlement is pertaining to a non-colored woman that's basically taking them to the cleaners. Yeah, that's what he get. He thought it was going to be easier on the other side. Black people, we rejoice at each other's failures. We rejoice at one another's demise. And this speaks volumes. It's not so much that we hate one another. The truth is, and a lot of us are not going to sink deep, and we're not going to be transparent and go there. But the truth of the matter is, we hate ourselves. You call it what you want, and just because you're successful don't mean that you don't hate yourself. Just because you have a lot of huge numbers and subscribers, it does not mean that you have self-love. And the thing about it is, if we don't have self-love for ourselves, we're damn sure not going to have love for anybody else outside of us. It's impossible. And it's a lot of black men and women who don't want to be transparent and go there. But it's a lot of us that are still struggling with self-worth. And I know you think because you're well-dressed, and I know you think because you have all this notoriety, and you have all these people super chatting, you have all these people cash apping you. We let me tell you, black people, we get image confused with success. Just because somebody looks well off, just because somebody is doing great with numbers, doing great with notoriety, doing great with their platforms growing, it does not mean that they are happy. Because believe it or not, most of the content, and a lot of y'all don't want to go deep and really reason or rationalize this, most of what you speak is really who you are. For instance, if I'm a black woman and I am constantly, constantly going in on black men, dragging them through the mud, never having anything positive to say, just dragging and tearing down the image of black men, whether they're doing a good job making themselves look bad without me at my opinion or not. The type of content that I'm putting out speaks volumes about what type of person I am. So if I am consistently, not sometimes, like I said, it's okay to have an opinion, and every content don't have to be great content, but we always praising and bragging and giving each other the best of acknowledgement. Sometimes we do have to share black love. Sometimes we do have to share tough love. We got to go in on one another. We have to keep each other in check to a certain degree. But if that's what I'm consistently and constantly doing, what that basically says is, as a black woman, I don't see much worth in myself. So because I don't see worth in myself, I got to constantly tear down the worth of others. And that is the same thing with black men who always speak so negatively about black women. If a man can spend 2 to 3, 4 hours on his platform just trashing black women, day in and day out, not even switching the content up sometimes, and talking about other positive things. If he can wake up every morning, as soon as he gets out of bed, turns on his PC, and that's all he speaks about, the majority of his content, something has happened somewhere in his personal life to hold this type of energy on the daily basis. There's no way you can keep trashing black women, talking bad about black women, if something has not transpired in your life for you to build this level of hate. Because it's several men that have gone through all kind of stuff for black women, but they don't live their lives day in and day out bashing and trashing black women. They have learned to take the punches, keep it moving, and they don't have to feel like they don't have to validate themselves and validate their masculinity by constantly badgering and bashing black women. So the majority of men who are doing this, there is something that transpired. But their ego, of course, is never going to admit to it because they got the stunt for their male subscribers, for their male audience who praise and worship the negative narratives that they promote. But something has happened. Either he's not that attractive of a black man and has had too many rejections with black women, constantly attacking his physical attributes. Maybe he was too dark. Maybe he was too gay. Maybe he was a little too overweight, average, whatever. Something has happened. And anytime you can keep attacking the same group of people, and this is the same thing for black women who constantly bash black men, something has happened. You have been hurt before. You have been rejected before. Because let me tell you something, ladies, guys. Don't look at where people are sitting right now. There's a story. There's a story before y'all have gotten to known them as these big time successful content creators that have over 3,000 views when they live streaming. So don't look when you coming in to see a movie, you catching the end of the movie. Don't base your don't base your own narrative based on where you have currently encountered a person, unless you really know their history, unless they have shared things with you from their childhood in which you can gain some type of understanding as to why they are constantly doing content based on the things that they keep addressing. A lot of people, unless you know their history, don't give them too much praise and worship service based on where they are right now. Right now you see the success. Right now you see they are well dressed. Right now it seems like the knowledge they are sharing with you is actual and factual. A lot of these individuals sound highly intellectual, sound highly intelligent, and all of that. But if you had a magnifying glass and you was able to see who they really were, the things that have personally happened to them in their lives, the rejections they had to encounter, the childhood issues they had to endure, which is what brought them to this place in which now they have a platform in which they can vent all their poisonous narratives to the black community. And because a lot of people in the black community are already broken, already scorned, already hurt, already don't feel worthy, anytime you hear this type of concept from these individuals, you're more than likely to support it, because hurt people can identify with hurt people. If I, as a man, I have had too many negative encounters with black women, I'm going to reside at a place in which there are other broken men such as myself who can also identify with, not being accepted and being rejected by black women. So when I'm in a space with men who are with a man who's constantly going in on black women, because I myself also have had my share of black women who didn't love me, who didn't appreciate me, who didn't value me. So when this man is speaking and saying how black women don't appreciate us as black men, my heart is automatically going to go out to him. I'm going to gravitate towards him. But you know why? Because he can identify with my pain. He can share my pain. He understands, because he's a black man like I'm a black man, that black women don't appreciate us. Black women don't value us. So not only am I going to support him because he is preaching and teaching the pain that I'm also experiencing, I'm also support him when he bashes these women, because once upon a time, these women, they bashed me. They bashed me for being too dark. They bashed me for being too broke. They bash me for being too unattractive or whatever. So, in the same with women that have also had a lot of negative encounters with black men, black women who don't have good relationships with their baby daddies, who been molested, who been raped, who have all kind of underlying issues that they never got therapy or counseling for. Soon as a sister is speaking on things that are tearing down the black men who tore her down, she's going to co-sign. She's going to relate. She's going to support. And this is the reason why the black YouTube sector has tainted for potential for black marriages, because you have all of these broken, scorned, and torn individuals who are using these platforms, and these are individuals. Some of them have mental illnesses. Some of them are narcissistic. And these are both black men and both black women. And if you're woke, you'll be able to read in between the lines and know when they contradicted themselves. It's a lot of narcissism going on in the black YouTube sector. And it's also a lot of people that are using platforms from a broken and scorned place. And see, YouTube doesn't mandate, it doesn't require anybody, not even myself, to have to produce any real receipts that they specialize in the content that they talk about. You don't have to produce any real receipts. You don't have to produce any experience. You don't have to produce any degrees. You don't have to produce anything. Anybody, it's unfortunate that anybody can get a YouTube channel and speak upon the same subject consistently, and once they start gaining a certain amount of fan base, and especially if that fan base increases rapidly over a short period of time, you have people that will gravitate towards these individuals. And a lot of these individuals, these men who feel like they got all the answers when it comes to how to treat a woman, how to respect a woman, how to not let a woman run game on you, and this, that, and the third. And while although their numbers are very convincing that they are gifted and skilled in preaching the narratives that they preach, there are other areas in their life in which they are failing. But guess what? This is the problem with being a subscriber. Y'all would never know the areas in which our favorite YouTube worship praise leaders, y'all don't know the real areas in which they are struggling. And the reality is, we all have certain areas in our lives in which we are failing. Don't let the numbers fool you. Don't let the notoriety fool you. Don't let the popularity manipulate you. Don't figure that these people are well together just because they have all of these followers. You know how many people followed Jim Jones? That worship leader, that false prophet. And look what ended up to everybody who followed him. No, look how many people followed Hitler. You just because a person has a large amount of followers, do you not think that they could possibly be leading you to hell? Even Satan to this day has a large amount of followers. Just because that is where all the crowd goes, it does not mean that that crowd is being led correctly. A lot of people are being led to destruction. And the black YouTube sector that's exactly what they're doing. They're leading black men and black women into destruction. You know what? Another thing that I find interesting is that you have so many content creators that are discouraging marriage. They are trying to eliminate the idea of marriage. And it's both men and women that are doing it. And I'm noticing it's a lot more men that are trying to discourage men from marriage. But let's be clear. Let's just be honest. We're trying to discourage each other from marriage, but y'all know, you know, and I know the black community is highly sexualized. Okay? They're not going to stop smashing out here. You and I both know that. They're not going to stop smashing. These women out here are not going to keep their legs closed. These men are not going to keep their penis in their pants. You know why? Because I got needs. You have men that are up here promoting men and women that are promoting women not to get married. But y'all are not promoting don't have sex then. So it's okay for them to fornicate. And in the process of fornicating, things happen. Children can be produced. And this is when these other issues come about that y'all want to only blame one side for it. All this fornicating is producing single parent households. Because truth is, black men and black women, y'all are not practicing safe sex. And even though we've been educated, we've seen the commercials, we done had child development classes all through school. We were taught safe sex. The majority of the black community is not practicing safe sex. These women is not trying to get on birth control because they want children, they want income, or they want to try to have something, to have a child, that way they can gain some type of leverage or control over the man. And you have men who hate condoms, so they rather raw dog these females to prevent having to pay child support for 18 amount of years or whatever. But the thing is, y'all are discouraging marriage. So what is better for black men and women to keep running around here fornicating, creating children out of lust and love? Or is it better to encourage black men and black women to seek marriage, so in an event there's a child that's conceived, at least that child is going to have both parents. At least that child was created in love, so that child is going to be granted more benefits compared to children that are just being produced through smash sessions. Now, doesn't mean that marriage is going to exempt problems. It's going to guarantee y'all to stay together or be together for now into eternity. But what it does imply is that at least you are trying to build a foundation the correct way. So if you're not encouraging marriage, basically you're encouraging men and women to fornicate, which is the reason why the black community has so many problems that we got now. Because we were told, you don't need a man, you don't need a woman, but at the same time, you got sexual needs that creates these lustful deeds, that creates these tainted seeds, these children that are being produced through chaotic means. They are tainting and spinning negative narratives on why black men and black women should not be together. When truth be told, we are the only ones who really understand each other. As a black woman, as much as you may despise me as a black man, you may despise my loud mouth. You may despise the fact that I'm overly talkative. You may despise the fact that at times I can be over domineering. I can be a bitch. I can get out of character. I can get ratchet. But guess what? I am exactly what you need. While you're trying to play it safe, my brother, and going to other women outside of me, reaching women outside of me, going outside of me to the white woman, to the Mexican woman, to the Latino woman, because you're allowing these men on YouTube who don't show you their failures. All you see is their success stories and their amount of followers. You don't see where they failing in areas in which they can't even get half of the women they telling you not to get. While you're allowing these other men to manipulate you, because as a man, you should adopt your own narratives about women. based on your own experiences. Instead of you coming to these YouTube channel platforms and sitting in the chat room like, you know, a faithful Christian in a congregation that's being operated by false prophets, you sitting there faithfully, you tithing faithfully, like y'all tithing them to them y'all super chats. And meanwhile, these same people is leading you to destruction. So even though you're being trained and programmed into believing I'm the type of woman you should not even want, you should not even desire, you should not even strive to be with. I'm the exact opposite. I'm everything that you should desire to be with. I'm the only one who will ever really understand you, compared to the white woman, compared to the Latino woman, compared to the Puerto Rican woman. And as far as my submissiveness, if you have the right masculine energy, you don't have to fight for me to be submissive to you. Women will be submissive to men who can lead without them having to beg or ask. It's several of us that are doing it. It's thousands of black women out here that are very submissive to their black husbands, but not when he's struggling with leadership qualities. And the sad part is you have a lot of these male content creators that are telling men that they are leaders when they can't lead a damn thing. Half of them can't even lead paying the bills. You know how many black women out here have to get their husbands checks and run the money because he's not good with financially with managing money? Yeah, he's great at making it. He goes out there, he busts his ass, he makes the money, but he can't even trust himself. He will give his wife his check, not so she can get her hair and nails done and spend money on other Negroes or whatever, but he gives his black wife his money because he knows he's man enough to know that as a man, I'm not good at leading in that area. That is why I'm going to let my wife lead. And it doesn't make me less masculine. It just means she's submissive enough to me to allow me to give her the money, but at the same time, she still treats me as a man. She still treats me as the leader of this household, even though this is an area in which I am weak. You have men up here telling black men that you are leaders. You supposed to be treated a certain way, and that is not true. That doesn't apply for all black men. All black men do not know how to lead, no more than all black women are not queens. We have sisters that are preaching to black women. You are a queen. You deserve the best. You deserve for somebody to step into your life and help you take care of your 5-6 kids that you done had from multiple men. You still a queen. You deserve the best. The black community is being led to destruction because we are being programmed and trained by other people who are in denial about their failures, that we are entitled, we are privileged to certain things that a lot of us aren't qualified to have, that a lot of us aren't built to have. All black men are not built to be with a good black woman. I don't give a damn how much these other male content creators, y'all praise and worship leaders, are telling y'all that you are top notch and any black woman you get supposed to allow you to lead and supposed to allow you to be a man. All of these men cannot be a man. Some of them aren't a man. No more than every woman does not deserve to be a wife. I don't care how many women up here are boosting up her ego and telling her how many Derek Jacksons or whatever are saying you deserve to be treated like a queen. The truth is, all of us, all black women are not queens. I know some trifling ones. I know some who don't even deserve to be married, but they are married. The list goes on all day. I can go back and forth, but what I'm saying is the black YouTube sector is setting us up for failure, because what a lot of black men and black women are not telling each other is You have to find a companion that is going to be strong in areas where you are weak. This isn't about the black man role, the black woman role. Y'all can squash all of that because a lot of y'all haven't even been married long enough to give advice on what is considered as a real marriage, a good black woman, a good black man. A lot of y'all don't have the receipts to prove. Not even so much marriage. A lot of y'all ain't been in relationships long enough to be sitting up here telling black men what type of black woman they should be with and telling black women what type of black man they should be with. A lot of y'all don't have no receipts to prove that you have what it takes to make it work. Or let's say if you have had your share of failed marriages, of failed relationships, a lot of y'all are not going to keep it a buck and say what y'all could have done better as a woman or a man to have avoid that marriage or that relationship from dismantling. You know what a lot of y'all are going to do? Because black men and black women, both of us are allergic to what's called accountability. It's sad, but a lot of these popular content creators, they're not being transparent with their subscribers. And they should, as much as y'all pay them. Y'all paying membership fees faithfully for them to just tell you what you should and shouldn't be doing. But at the same time, they can't give you any real testimonies. They're not going to be transparent with their experiences. They're not going to tell you. Let me tell you the reason why I'm on my second, why I got married twice. My first wife, yes, she failed me. She disappointed me, but I disappointed her. I didn't always pay the bills. I looked for her to pay the bills. There's no one in the black sector. We preach accountability, but do we live by it? Do we practice it? Do we apply it? No, we do not. But we will preach it all goddamn day long. If I had to put a penny in my pocket, every time I heard one of these black YouTube sector content creators preach accountability, but they will never share any of theirs. They're not going to tell you, as a man, I messed up. I picked the wrong black women because I went after what she looked like. I didn't go after her character. Because she looked good on my arms. She was good at arm candy. A lot of these brothers, they're not going to keep it real and share their failures. They're going to sit up here and act like they did it right all their life. Well, I'm a real man. I'm a high value man. Okay, all of that's wonderful. But what about your moments when you wasn't a high value man? When you was settling? When you was picking up anything that would pick you up? No different than a lot of these sisters out here who got all the answers for what kind of black man a black woman should get, but you don't never see them with any black men. But you got all the answers for me. You're qualified to tell me. And truth be told, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I have a problem with we have all the answers, but you won't share none of your failures. Everything is how you made it to be successful, how you are successful, but you're not willing to share what you went through before you became successful. The black YouTube sector has tainted potentials for black marriages because no one really is promoting what black men and what black women do have to offer to one another. It's always, we're not good enough for each other. We're not worthy of one another. We're too good for each other. I'm constantly hearing black men telling other black men they're too good to be with black women. Who does that? And black women are encouraging other black women to be the same way. We are encouraging, telling each other we're so superior that we don't even belong together. And this is the reason why a lot of you are going to die alone. And let me talk about this die alone thing. I don't know why die alone is only relating to women. Because there are plenty of black men as well that are also dying alone because their ego, their success has made them believe they don't need a good woman in their corner. They don't need anybody. Success has black men and black women success and independence and money has you thinking you do not need anybody. And I don't care how rich, successful, or what off you are. We all need somebody. All of us do. I've been in nursing homes where I've seen grown men die alone with no woman, no wife with them in their final hours, holding their hands, letting them know, I enjoyed all of these years we had together. And I know you're going to a peaceful place. And when in God's timing, I'll be there to follow you. I'll be there to see you again. But I want you to know you've been a good husband to me. You've been a good father to our children. A lot of you men, y'all aren't going to experience the gift of something beautiful because you're allowing these toxic, undercover, individuals that's struggling with their sexuality, and these men that are so egotistical that got rejected by so many women to where they have given up on women. You're allowing these type of men to coach you and program you into believing you don't need a good woman. And you may not need one at this moment. And I'm not saying you're less of a man if you don't have a woman. But what I'm saying is when you least expect it, you're going to wish you had a good, solid woman. I'm not talking about a gold digger. I'm not talking about a manipulator, but a good, solid woman who genuinely loved you enough to be in the struggle with you until you got to that level of success, and also being able to enjoy that success with you because she was the one there with you when you struggled, and vice versa. And definitely with no different than women. I've been in nursing homes seeing women in their deathbeds. No husband, no companion, just a bunch of children from multiple men. And when she passes away, there's no structure with her children because all of them didn't come from the same man. She didn't raise them to get to know one another's families and things of that nature. If something were to happen to her, they'll be able to still have a support system. Then you have some women that's been so nasty, so vindictive to the men that they have had children from, and the men that they have children from have been vindictive to them as well, to the point if something were to happen to her, her children are going to be lost in the sauce. They're not going to know how to connect with their fathers. They're not going to know how to connect with their other siblings because their mother left such a tainted legacy here. And this is what's going on with the black community. We are creating a lot of division amongst black men and black women. All because a lot of us are butthurt from things that occurred in our past. Or it doesn't just have to be past. It could be current things. You have a lot of people that are so angry with the fact they have been so choosy because they have allowed the black YouTube sector to give them unrealistic expectations. Because anybody who's been married for a long time can tell you there's no such thing as meeting a man or woman that's going to be 100% of what you want them to be. Truth be told, this day and age, you may find someone that has at least 80% of 75 to 80% of the qualities that you're looking for. You have to be prepared that for everything that you want about the woman you desire or the man you desire, you have to realistically understand that you're going to only get 80%, 75 to 80% of that. For everything you like, it's going to come with some things you don't like. So all of these YouTube dating coaching experts that has programmed you into believing you have to have this specific black woman. You have to have this specific black men. Truth be told, a lot of y'all are going to stay single and the majority of y'all are going to die alone because y'all are looking for something that, for one, you're not going to find. And for two, you're not even entitled to that type of man and type of woman. Even if I'm telling you, as let's say if I'm a college instructor and you are my students, and I'm telling you that you can live the American dream, that you can have it all. The world is your oyster. You can get success. You can have marriage. I'm up here giving you these inspirational speeches on what you can have. Do you not realize that just because I'm inspiring you, it does not mean that you're going to be the one that's going to be able to live out that dream? Truth be told, a lot of us aren't even entitled to what we are looking for. It's no different than a thug who's never worked, never had a job, see a successful man that's a lawyer or a business owner pull up in the convenience store with his nice 2022 Range Rover. He'd rather kill him by shooting him so he can take his money, take his Range Rover, leave this successful man for dead, because he ain't man enough to go out there and make the sacrifices to be successful. So what he's going to do, rob and take another man's success. Not realizing short term, he's eventually going to get caught. The police eventually going to find him, going to lock him up, and that Range Rover he stole, that money he stole off that successful man that he left for dead, now he going to have to do that time. It's a lot of black men and black women. Y'all have convinced yourself you are entitled to that good black man. You're entitled to that good black woman. What makes you think you are qualified? Why? Because your YouTube dating coach gave you an inspiration speech that you are a black king and you deserve a black queen? Or you're a black queen and you deserve a black king? Why? Because they said so? A lot of us are not even qualified for the things that we think we deserve. Truth is, the reason why a lot of us are struggling with good companions, because a lot of us have done a lot of corrupt things. A lot of us have done other people dirty that was good to us. The reason why a lot of black men and black women cannot get a good companion or a good soulmate, because the truth is, a lot of us have burnt a lot of bridges with people that were good to us or could have been good for us. You let your selfishness, your ego, I'm too pretty to be with him, or she ain't on my level. A lot of us have burnt bridges with the potential of getting a good man or a good woman, all because of ego, pride. You think because you're a successful man and you make a certain amount of money, even if a woman is a good woman, because she doesn't look a certain way to you, you're going to write her off because she ain't exactly what you want. And the truth is, I'm telling everybody, anybody you meet, they're going to either have 75 or 80% of what you're looking for. And let me tell you something, the older you get, they're not even going to have that. As you start pushing your 50s, they may have 70% of what you're looking for. The numbers are going to keep decreasing as you get older, because the older we get, we all are gaining more problems. We're gaining more experiences. We're gaining more responsibilities. The older all of us get, the harder it's going to be to find exactly what you're looking for. You may be a man or woman who don't want nobody with children, but guess what? The older you get, the less is going to happen, because everybody's steadily getting children while you're running around here being so picky and being so particular, and you still going to miss out. You got people up here lying to you and making you believe you're not good enough, or you're either too damn good to get a certain person. And those of us who are married, who have been married a very long time, we understand the dynamics. Not that we're perfect, not that we're better, not to say that we didn't have obstacles to overcome, but the majority of people, and anybody who comes in the chat room who wants to co-sign with me on this, those who have been married for 10 years or more, we know the realism of how relationships work. We know there's just no way that our companions, our mates did not disappoint us. We have expected the reality of disappointment, heartbreaks, heartaches, trauma, tragedy. Uh, Married people, we have the badge of honor as far as realism. We know that shit can get real. Unlike these false prophets that's giving y'all unrealistic expectations, people who have been married for a long time, we know the reality of how things go. We know that as wives, we disappoint our husbands. Our husbands have disappointed us. We know that we can raise our children in the same household together and they still go astray. We realize that, yes, marriage is consistence of ups and downs. While the rest of you who have not been in relationships, you have become so programmed to being alone by yourself that you have become so jaded and making yourself believe that there should just be certain things that you shouldn't have to deal with. And the truth is, all of us have to deal with something because you're dealing with another human being. And guess what? They're going to have to deal with some of your shit. Everybody has baggage. And you got these YouTube dating coaches that's telling you he got too much baggage. You don't need to deal with men who got baggage. You don't need to deal with women who got baggage. We all got baggage. My baggage may not be 3-4 baby daddies. My baggage could be my mental health. The fact that I got to take medication. The fact that I'm not good at managing money. We all coming with baggage. Let me just tell you, for those of you who don't mind dying alone, it's probably better that you do, because you're not going to meet anybody who does not have baggage. And you got baggage that somebody else got to deal with. Somebody got to put up with your loud mouth. Somebody got to tolerate your disrespect. All of us who are in relationships, it's not because we're perfect. We have learned that we got to accept the good and the bad. We've learned to balance and be realistic and understand that the people that we have decided to choose as companions, that they have baggage like we have baggage. And instead of bashing and dragging and putting each other down, we've learned to come together and either build off of that baggage, or we help each other eliminate or get rid of that baggage. But this comes from two people who genuinely love each other and want to see each other win. And social media is, the Black YouTube sector especially, y'all are robbing people out of the joy of having a real soulmate, a real marriage, a healthy relationship, because y'all are promoting narratives that is teaching Black men to not value Black women and Black women not to value Black men. Y'all are telling us that we shouldn't even be loving each other. If a Black man loves his Black woman, he's a simp, or he wants to spoil her, treat her, and treat her like the queen that she deserves to be treated because she treats him like a king. He's simping. And as a Black woman, if I sit up here and I acknowledge my Black husband and tell the world how great he is, tell the world how much I love him, I'm a mammy. And because I don't go around here hating other Black men, well, maybe I don't hate Black men because I have so much love for the current one I have in my life. But it's easy for me to promote and teach other women to hate Black men when I don't have one myself. I'm bitter, I'm jaded, so that's what's going to inspire me to promote content for other Black women that are bitter and jaded just like me. And the truth is, some of these Black men, they have already given up on becoming somebody's husband. They got their cars, they got their money, they got their success. Damn a woman. But when they get sick, when their health is declining, they don't have a woman there checking on them. Baby, did you take your medicine? Are you going to the doctor? When the last time you had a physical? Huh. Your success, your cars are only going to comfort you, but so much. Eventually, you're going to want someone to care about you, regardless of what your ego or your masculinity tells you. It's nothing like having a good woman in your corner. Not a gold digger, not somebody who just wants to look good in the presence of your friends, but a woman who genuinely wants you to win. It's not about finding a perfect mate. It's about finding that mate that's going to balance you out. If you struggling with finances, make sure you find a man or a woman that's good in that area. That's not going to take advantage of the fact that you are struggling in that area. So they're taking the money and they're using it and they're investing it in the things that you don't know about or whatever. You're supposed to enhance each other's weaknesses. Where I'm weak, that's where you as my husband is supposed to strengthen me. Where you're weak, that's where I'm supposed to strengthen you as your wife. This is not about competition. Don't compete with me, complete with me. That is the problem with the black YouTube sector. A lot of y'all have not even been in relationships long enough to encourage and enlighten people on how to stay in their relationship or at least start building one or maintaining one. When it's a lot of single people that are miserable. And I'm not saying all married people are happy, because that would be hypocritical of me. But a lot of these consecrators, a lot of them are single and miserable, which is why they have so many hours at a time to jump on, do live streams several days out the week, because they don't have a wife, they don't have a husband, they don't have nothing to care for. Or if they are in a relationship, they're so miserable, or either they're so selfish to the point they would rather be on live stream for hours than go out and take their wife to dinner, take their husband to dinner, go to the movies, go do something, because they've become so addicted to social media fame that their own companions, their own wives, their fiancés or whatever, they don't never get to see them because they too busy having their face in the laptop. Times you're not going to see me for a couple of days or some weeks because I owe that time to my husband. I owe that time to my family. But you have so many individuals who claim they got a woman, who claim they got a man, but yet you're on YouTube several hours at a time, ranting, raving, giving everybody your energy, doxing people, cussing people out, screaming, yelling, all of this energy you giving to strangers across the world, but your own wife, your own husband, your own companion, they barely get any time from you because you're more concerned about your super chats and not and being forgotten about. It's really sad, but the black YouTube sector, y'all are really trying to destroy black men and black women from building something together, from having something together. And the thing about it is, I'm not surprised because you cannot give somebody something that you don't have for yourself. You cannot give me positivity if you don't have self-positivity. You cannot give me encouragement if you can't encourage yourself. People are only giving what they have. If all they are putting out is negativity because they feel negative about themselves. Because a person that's truly positive, at some point in time, they're going to change the narratives because there's other areas in their life that are positive that they want to start placing more emphasis upon. But when you have somebody beating the same dead horse all the time, negative, stay away from black men, stay away from black women, why are you encouraging that? Is it because there was a woman or a man who you wanted once upon a time who disappointed you? You never got past that hurt. You never got past that pain. And it has made you bitter and jaded. Or maybe you have abandonment issues. Or maybe some people feel empowered when they find something that they can hate or resent. Hate brings a lot of people power. You hate something strong enough to where you become obsessed with attacking it. You become infatuated in trying to destroy it. Black men and black women, y'all have become obsessed with the gender war. And most outside hate, it begins with inner hate. I don't care how cocky you act, how intellectual and how great your points are. Some of y'all can preach a good one. Some of y'all are phenomenal speakers. Y'all know how to rhyme your words. You know how to finesse your content. Some of you are really great speakers. But underneath all of that, there's some self-hate going on. You can't hate something that much if you don't hate yourself. Ku Klux Klan, the reason they hate so many of us is because it's so much self-hate. Hate starts from within. And the words of Pastor Jakes, you can't hate something that much unless you care for it. Think about it. You only hate something you care about. If I can preach on hating black men all day, it's because something somewhere I care about it. Else I'm not going to acknowledge it. I'm not going to talk about it. You don't acknowledge or talk about something you hate. No different than you brothers. You stand on the necks of black women because the truth is you really love black women. You just hate the fact that they have disappointed you. They rejected you. Or they don't respect you. Or maybe your own mama abandoned you. Your own mama talked down on you. There's a lot of black men around here hating black women that all started from their black mama who never made them feel important. So they're going around here hating all black women for that. You ain't hating just to be hating now. Something has happened that you're not man enough because you don't want to look weak. All the black women you been checking for, they ain't checking for you. Same thing with the sisters. Maybe the black woman, the black man you wanted, he chose a woman of a whole nother race. Made you feel insignificant. Made you feel unworthy. People, in other words, people are not just going to hate something to hate something. Something triggered it. Something happened. Could have been in a childhood with their own mom or their own daddy. Probably started from there. And a lot of us have either been molested or mentally molested. Your own black mother probably told you wasn't good enough. Your own black mother told you you're going to be a loser just like your father. A lot of black men were told during their youth as young men that they were going to be a zero. You're going to be just like your daddy. Your daddy been in and out of prison. You're going to end up in and out of prison. A lot of us were told we was going to fail before we even became grown men and grown women. Grown women, we were told we were going to fail. You know how many of us were told we're going to be just like our mothers? Because your mother got 5, 6 kids from 4 or 5 different men. You know how many of us were told we was not going to be nothing before we even understood what nothing was? You was told you was going to be nothing at 12, 13 years old. And guess what? It's a lot of projection. Whatever we were told, we're telling other people that's what they're going to be. So when I hear black men and black women up here bashing the opposite sex, whatever you're displaying on them, that's how you feel about you. You're telling black women they're not going to be nothing because you've been told you weren't going to be nothing by a black woman. You were told by a black man you wasn't going to be shit. So that's why you telling black men they ain't shit. It's a lot of projection and rejection in the black community. But y'all sit up here manipulating people like y'all got all the answers because of your followers, because of your numbers, because of your popularity. When behind closed doors, you are still struggling with who you are. You're still struggling with your sexuality. You're still struggling with your masculinity. You're still struggling with rejections. with childhood issues. It's a lot of undercover struggles. And before it's all over with, it's eventually going to unravel. You're not going to be able to hide behind your numbers, hide behind your success, hide behind these your subscribers who's defending you like you're their court leader. Eventually, the real you is going to manifest itself. What's done in the dark going to come out in the light. So all of what you're doing to make people believe you are so sure of yourself, when it's all said and done, you're going to have to face the world. The world is going to see you for who you really are. But I'm just very fed up with so many individuals in the Black YouTube sector that's discouraging Black men and Black women from having something that could be beautiful together. So anyway, I'm going to get ready to shut it down. I just want to share my thoughts on this. It's just too many. It's too many of content creators. Y'all are poisoning Black men and Black women. And the truth is, a lot of us, we want to be poisoned. We want to believe that we're not good enough. We want people to believe, we want to believe that other people aren't good enough for us. We are comfortable with our dysfunction. We're comfortable in it. We're comfortable in our hate because why? Hate makes us feel safe. If I hate something enough, that don't mean I have to respect it. A lot of you want to hate Black women. You want to hate Black men because hate make you feel safe. Long as you hate it enough, you don't have to acknowledge it. You don't have to appreciate it. You don't have to value it. You don't have to respect it. That's what hate does. Hate gives you permission. Hate gives you authority to say and think, if I don't like him, I don't like her, I don't have to respect her. I don't have to acknowledge her. But that same hate is the reason your blessings are going to continue getting blocked. You're going to end up by yourself. You're not going to get any real love, any real support because you have become comfortable with your hate. Your hate has become a blanket for you. You have learned to cover yourself in it. You have learned to hide yourself in it. And for that very reason, there's going to be a lot of Black men and Black women. They're going to leave this earth by themselves. They're not going to have a companion with them on their deathbed because of all of their evil deeds and the way they reason with why they have so much disrespect for the opposite sex is going to be the reason why a lot of them are going to meet their own demise. Hate is going to make you meet your own demise. So anyway, y'all, I'm going to shut it down. You're welcome to leave a comment below. And again, I definitely want to support all my men, the men, all my ladies. I appreciate y'all for being supportive of my journey and chapter. Do not allow, to allow these YouTube dating coaches or cult leaders to sit up here and make you think you are entitled to things you're entitled to, or make you think you're not deserving of certain things that you are deserving of. You're welcome to leave your comment. Let me know what y'all think about this topic. I'm going to get ready to shut it down, y'all. It is your diva in knowledge. And before you leave, make sure you hit that like button. Hit the like button. If you want to donate to my movement, Cash App, DymondGyrl, I would definitely appreciate that. But we definitely need to talk more about this, how the Black YouTube sector is tainting the potential for Black marriages, for Black relationships. Do y'all really think that the Black YouTube sector is helping, motivating Black men and Black women to want to build something together? Or do you think it's sabotaging it and destroying it? If so, please let me know in the comment below. I'm going to take all of y'all opinions, and I'm going to formulate my own narratives based on the comments that y'all post below, because I want to continue to keep discussing this, because I think this is a big problem in the Black YouTube sector. So whatever opinions y'all have, I'm really open to it, especially with this particular topic, because I really would like to know, do y'all really feel like the Black YouTube sector is tainting the potential for Black marriages or relationships? So anyway, y'all, I will holler at y'all later. It is your diva and knowledge, Lady Mocha. And I'm gonna always pour you a cup of truth, and I'm gonna always pick you off a slice of knowledge. Y'all be blessed. Take care.